Today, we're counting down 20 weird facts that will completely change the way you see Ferris Bueller's legendary 1961 Ferrari 250 GT. From behind-the-scenes technical tricks and legal drama to secrets about its construction and jaw-dropping price tags, this countdown peels back every layer of movie magic, revealing just how far the filmmakers went to create the perfect illusion. Think you know the story behind cinema's most famous car crash? Think again. Some truths will shatter your assumptions, right down to what's actually under the hood. Which revelation tops them all? Let's start with number 20. Number 20. The Ferrari that Ferris Bueller famously launched through a plate glass window wasn't a Ferrari at all. Underneath that gleaming red paint sat a British MG Roadster chassis, not a hand-welded Italian frame. The body? Fiberglass, molded and sanded in a California shop, not Maranello. And the engine roaring under the hood was pure Detroit muscle, a Ford 289 or 302 V8, not the legendary Ferrari V12. The price tag? Just $25,000 per car, barely a rounding error, compared to the six-figure sum a real 1961 Ferrari 250 GT California demanded in the 1980s. Every detail was crafted to fool the camera and the audience. The most iconic Ferrari in movie history began as a kit car illusion, built for speed, spectacle, and a single, perfect shot of rebellion. Let that sink in. Number 19. The illusion of Ferris Bueller's Ferrari began in a modest El Cajon workshop, where Neil Glassmoyer and Mark Goyette founded Modena Design. These craftsmen weren't Italian coach builders, they were Southern California tinkerers, working with hand-laid fiberglass and a pile of British MG parts. Hollywood came calling after a Car and Driver magazine feature put their replica on the map. Suddenly, the shop faced a challenge: build 3 near-perfect Ferraris for a major studio, each molded from measurements taken off the real thing. Every body panel was shaped, sanded, and finished by hand, with custom chrome and trim fabricated in-house. What started as a kit car hobby became a crash course in movie magic, as Modena's small team scaled up overnight to deliver film-ready fakes that could fool even the sharpest eyes. Their work powered one of cinema's greatest automotive deceptions. Number 18. Every Ferrari seen on screen had a job to do. The production team commissioned not 1, but 3 Modena replicas, each built for a specific purpose. The so-called hero car handled the glamour shots, close-ups, slow pans, and interior scenes where every stitch had to look perfect. For high-speed chases and wild cornering, a separate stunt car took the punishment, reinforced where it counted, but never quite as pretty up close. The most notorious of the trio was the crash shell, stripped of unnecessary weight and engineered to break apart in spectacular fashion for the film's climax. Each car wore subtle differences, from interior trim to suspension tweaks, all dictated by the demands of its role. This 3-car strategy meant the illusion could survive beauty shots, rough driving, and a dramatic destruction, all without risking a single irreplaceable prop. Number 17. The Ferrari's scream was pure Hollywood sleight of hand. Under the hood, the Modena replica thundered with a Ford V8, a sound that would have shattered the illusion in seconds. So, the post-production team turned to the editing bay, layering in the high-pitched wail of a real Ferrari V12 for every rev, shift, and tire-squealing getaway. No digital wizardry here. This was the analog era, where editors spliced reel-to-reel tape and frame-matched every throttle blip by hand. The result? Every time Ferris hit the gas, audiences heard Italian horsepower, not Detroit muscle. Even car enthusiasts in 1986 were fooled, convinced by the perfect sync of sight and sound. The engine note became the car's mask, completing the deception and sealing the Ferrari's movie legend. Number 16. Every visual detail of the Modena replica was engineered to sell the Ferrari fantasy. Those wire wheels, capped with 3-eared spinners, matched the look of a real 250 GT down to the last spoke. The body lines were sculpted to echo the California Spider's famous curves, even if the proportions had to be finessed to fit a British MG chassis underneath. Ferrari Rosso Corsa paint, mixed to capture the exact Italian shade, gave the car its unmistakable flash. Chrome trim, prancing horse badges, and a functioning convertible top completed the illusion. Inside, black leather seats, classic switchgear, and a dash styled after the original let the camera linger without breaking the spell. On screen, every cue whispered, "Ferrari," masking the kit car roots and fooling audiences who never guessed the truth. Number 15. The garage crash wasn't just the emotional climax of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, it was the most expensive single shot in the film. Destroying a $25,000 Modena replica wasn't a casual decision. The car chosen for sacrifice was structurally weakened in all the right places, its frame scored and braced to collapse on cue. Real glass would have turned the stunt into a hazard, so every pane was swapped for candy glass and breakaway acrylic, engineered to shatter in slow motion. Even the mounting points were modified, ensuring the car would launch backward and explode through the window with perfect dramatic timing. There was no safety net. One car, one shot, and no budget for a do-over. The stakes: get it right or lose the illusion and the money forever. Number 14. The garage crash scene offered only one shot at perfection. To make the Ferrari appear weightless as it plunged through the glass, the effects team rigged the replica to be pulled backward with a cable, not pushed. Cameras rolled in reverse, capturing the car's slow-motion float before gravity took over. Every cue had to sync to the millisecond. Alan Ruck's emotional breakdown, the shattering of candy glass, and the car's precise launch angle. There was no room for error. If the timing missed, there was no backup car, no second take. The tension on set matched Cameron's own. Engineering and emotion collided in a single, irreversible moment. One chance to immortalize the car's destruction and the character's liberation. Number 13. The odometer trick in Ferris Bueller's Day Off became a pop culture legend. Cameron and Ferris hatch a desperate plan. Run the Ferrari in reverse to erase the miles from their joyride. On set, the dashboard was more than a prop. The filmmakers wired the odometer to a reversible electric motor, letting the numbers spin backward on cue, an old-school special effect that sold the illusion. But the real punch isn't technical. That spinning odometer stands in for the film's biggest question: can you undo what's been done? Every click backward is Cameron's hope that consequences can be erased, that time itself can be reversed. The numbers keep rolling, but life doesn't work that way. The odometer gag is the film's message in miniature. No matter how clever the trick, some things can't be undone. Number 12. Filming Ferris Bueller's Ferrari on the streets of Chicago turned every day into a high-stakes balancing act. The Modena replicas, built for looks, weren't designed for city gridlock. Stop-and-go traffic left the Ford V8s overheating, with crew members scrambling for radiator fixes between takes. The gleaming Rosso Corsa paint job suffered constant nicks and chips from urban grit, so touch-up crews hovered just out of frame, armed with spray guns and polishing cloths. Low ride height meant every pothole and curb threatened to reveal the British MG chassis lurking underneath. Cinematographers got creative, angling shots to hide the car's kit roots and keep the Ferrari illusion intact. Chicago's unpredictable weather added another layer of chaos, forcing last-minute convertible top swaps and schedule changes. Every location shoot became a test of the car's and the crew's resilience. Number 11. The joyride sequence pushed the Modena replicas to their limits with every take. Professional stunt drivers took the wheel for the parking attendant's wild run through downtown Chicago, slamming the gas and jamming the brakes as the script demanded. Each burst of acceleration and hard stop sent shockwaves through the fiberglass body, causing spider cracks that the crew patched up between takes. Tire swaps became routine. Burnouts and cornering chewed through rubber faster than the schedule could keep up. Stunt coordination memos revealed just how carefully every maneuver was planned, balancing the need for cinematic chaos with the reality of fragile kit car construction. The cars weren't built for this kind of abuse, but the stunts had to look effortless on screen. Every repair was a race against time, keeping the Ferrari fantasy alive for one more shot. Number 10. John Hughes didn't just want a cool car, he needed a symbol. Early drafts called for a Mercedes, but that wasn't enough. Hughes switched to the Ferrari 250 GT California because, in his words, it had to be the most beautiful car in the world. The car became more than a prop. It was the embodiment of Cameron's father's perfectionism, a rolling monument to everything Cameron feared he could never live up to. Its dazzling lines and impossible price tag set the stakes for Cameron's anxiety. One scratch could ruin his life. Every time the camera lingers on that red paint, it's not just showing off, it's reminding viewers what's at risk. The Ferrari's beauty and its untouchable status turned a teenage joyride into an emotional minefield. Number 9. The real price tag behind Ferris Bueller's Ferrari would have made any studio accountant faint. In 1986, a genuine 1961 Ferrari 250 GT California Spider commanded between $300,000 and $500,000, already a small fortune, even before Hollywood inflation. That sticker shock explains why no actual Ferraris were risked for a teen comedy about skipping school. Fast forward to today, and those same cars have exploded in value, routinely selling at auction for $15 to $20 million. That's not a typo. 8 figures for a single car. The stakes for using a replica weren't just about saving money, they were about avoiding the loss of a cultural treasure. Every time the camera lingered on that red paint, it was really showing off a stand-in for one of the world's most expensive collector cars. Number 8. The Ferrari 250 GT California Spider's mystique begins with its staggering rarity. Depending on which registry you trust, somewhere between 55 and 106 were ever built. So few that even seasoned collectors debate the true number. Each car left the Maranello factory as a bespoke commission, destined for movie stars, moguls, and the kind of buyers who never asked the price. This scarcity turned every surviving Spider into a legend, fueling a decades-long chase among collectors and driving values sky-high. In 1986, the car's near-mythic status made it the perfect symbol of unattainable desire for Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The film didn't just borrow that aura, it amplified it, making the California Spider not just rare, but the stuff of pop culture obsession. Supply never caught up with demand, so the world turned to replicas. Number 7. Ferris Bueller's Day Off didn't just make a movie star out of a fake Ferrari, it launched a business boom at Modena Design. After the film hit theaters, the shop's phones rang non-stop with fans and collectors eager to own their own Ferris Ferrari. Modena responded by offering replica kits starting at $8,500, letting tinkerers build the dream in their own garages. For those who wanted the full fantasy without the work, turnkey cars came in around $50,000, a fraction of the price of a real 250 GT, but still a serious investment for 1980s car lovers. Orders poured in from across the country, transforming a cottage operation into a mini assembly line. The film's magic turned a one-off movie prop into a national craze, setting the stage for a legal showdown no one at Modena saw coming. Number 6. Ferrari's lawyers came knocking as soon as Modena Design's replicas hit the spotlight. The Italian automaker filed suit, claiming the Modena Spiders crossed the line from tribute to trademark infringement. Every badge, every curve, Ferrari argued, blurred the boundary between homage and counterfeit, threatening the exclusivity that made the 250 GT California Spider so valuable. The legal fight didn't go to a dramatic courtroom verdict. Instead, it ended quietly with an out-of-court settlement. Modena agreed to tweak the design, strip off Ferrari emblems, and dial back the details before building any more cars. No permanent shutdown, but the message was clear. Ferrari would defend its brand at all costs. The case set a precedent for replica builders everywhere, drawing a hard line between a respectful copy and a knockoff that risks the wrath of Maranello. Number 5. The Modena replica's greatest trick wasn't under the hood or in the paint. It was in the minds of the audience. Nearly everyone who saw Ferris Bueller's Day Off in 1986 left the theater believing they'd just witnessed a real Ferrari 250 GT California take a joyride through Chicago and crash through a plate glass window. Contemporary reviews never questioned the car's authenticity. Even seasoned car buffs missed the telltale signs: the Ford V8 rumble, the British chassis, the fiberglass curves. Only a handful of die-hard enthusiasts caught the subtle cues, and by then, the illusion had already worked its magic. The shock on moviegoers' faces when the car was destroyed was genuine. The craftsmanship was so convincing, the fake Ferrari became real in the eyes of millions. That's movie magic you can measure in gasps. Number 4. One of Ferris Bueller's screen-used Ferrari replicas survives as a bona fide artifact of movie history. Chassis number 0002, the so-called hero car, spent years in private hands before being restored to its original film specification and entering the National Historic Vehicle Register. This isn't just a garage find. It's been displayed at the Henry Ford Museum and documented from studio lease to auction block, with provenance stretching back to the first day of filming. In 2010, the car sold at a UK auction for around $260,000, and recent sales put its value in the $250,000 to $350,000 range. That's nearly 10 times its original build cost, outpacing plenty of real vintage sports cars. Today, this replica draws crowds as a six-figure collectible, proof that a well-told story can turn fiberglass and Ford power into a piece of American folklore. Number 3. The Modena replica from Ferris Bueller's Day Off now stands as a museum-worthy artifact, no longer just a movie prop, but a piece of cultural history. The same fiberglass car that once fooled millions now appears in curated exhibitions, parked under spotlights at the Henry Ford Museum and listed in the National Historic Vehicle Register. Curators treat it with the same reverence reserved for genuine classics, not because of its engineering pedigree, but for the story it carries. Auction catalogs and collector circles prize the car's film provenance above its mechanical origins. The replica's worth comes from the narrative it helped create, a cinematic moment etched into pop culture. Museums and car shows showcase the Modena as an icon, proof that authenticity sometimes takes a back seat to the power of storytelling. In second place, Ferrari's legal assault on Modena Design had an effect no one in Maranello anticipated. The lawsuit was meant to stamp out the replicas and defend Ferrari's brand mystique. Instead, it did the opposite. Headlines about the case rocketed the Modena Spider to cult status. Suddenly, owning a forbidden copy was even more appealing. Collector forums buzzed about the lawsuit, and orders for replica kits surged as buyers chased the thrill of the outlaw Ferrari. Scarcity became a badge of honor, and the legal drama only deepened the car's allure. The harder Ferrari pushed, the more the Modena's legend grew. In trying to protect exclusivity, they handed the replica market its greatest sales pitch. Nothing says desirable like something you're not supposed to have. That's the paradox. The crackdown created a new kind of collector's gold. And finally, in first place, the ultimate twist. The fake Ferrari built for a teenage comedy now outshines most genuine classics in both fame and price. A $25,000 replica, born from necessity and illusion, has become a six-figure icon. Storytelling turned fiberglass into treasure, proving the movie's lesson. Sometimes, the story is worth more than the thing itself. From the very first surprise that Ferris Bueller's iconic Ferrari was a $25,000 fiberglass replica, to the ultimate irony of that fake outshining most real exotics, these 20 facts pull back the curtain on one of cinema's boldest illusions. Across all entries, a clear pattern emerges: meticulous craftsmanship, clever sound and visual trickery, and the calculated risks of movie magic consistently fooled audiences and even car experts, with 99% believing the replica was real. The list reveals how storytelling value can eclipse mechanical authenticity. What began as a cost-saving necessity became a cultural phenomenon, with surviving replicas now commanding six-figure sums and museum attention. The saga also exposes how attempts at control, like Ferrari's legal crackdown, only fueled public fascination. Ultimately, Ferris Bueller's Ferrari proves that in film and in culture, the story we believe matters more than the hardware underneath. Within this category, the fake became more collectible, more famous, and more meaningful than the genuine article, forever blurring the line between illusion and reality.